If you're reading this on December 13th, 2025, you need to understand something that will change everything. Right now, in this exact moment, you're standing at the edge of a cosmic event that 99% of humanity will completely miss. Not because they weren't invited, not because they weren't worthy, but because they weren't awake enough to recognize what's happening. December 13th is not just the day after the portal, it's the closing sequence, the final window, the last opportunity to lock in the timeline shift you initiated yesterday, or to catch it if you missed it entirely. And here's what nobody tells you about portal closings. They're more powerful than the openings. When a portal opens, it creates possibility. But when a portal closes, it creates permanence. It seals. It locks. It crystallizes whatever frequency you're holding into solid form. And that form becomes your lived reality for the foreseeable future. Think of it like this. December 12th opened the door to your highest timeline. But December 13th is when you either step through that door and it closes behind you, locking you into your new reality, or you hesitate, you doubt, you delay, and the door closes with you still on the wrong side, trapped in the same timeline you've been trying to escape. This is the Forbidden Destiny Gateway. Forbidden not because it's restricted, but because most people are too conditioned, too distracted, too asleep to even perceive it exists. The Matrix doesn't want you to know about closing sequences. Society doesn't teach you about timeline finalization moments. You're supposed to just drift through life accepting whatever reality presents itself. But you're different. You're here. You're reading this on December 13th, which means some part of you knows this day matters. Some part of you senses that the window is still open, but barely. Some part of you recognizes that you have hours, not days, not weeks, hours to complete your timeline shift before the gateway seals permanently. So let me explain exactly what's happening right now in the quantum field, and why December 13th is your absolute last chance to get this right. When the 1212 portal opened yesterday, it created what quantum physicists would call a superposition state. Multiple timelines became accessible simultaneously. Your consciousness could reach into realities that are normally locked away, futures that would take years to access through conventional means. The walls between possible realities became thin, transparent, crossable. But portals don't stay open forever. They can't. The quantum field operates in cycles. Open, peak, close, and right now we're in the closing phase. The walls between timelines are starting to solidify again. The futures you could touch yesterday are beginning to move out of reach. And by midnight tonight, the gateway will seal completely. Here's what that means for you. Whatever timeline you're vibrationally aligned with right now, in this moment as you read these words, that's the timeline that's going to lock in when the gateway closes. Not the timeline you wish you were in. Not the timeline you're planning to align with eventually. The timeline your frequency currently matches. And most people are about to get locked into the wrong timeline, because they think they have more time. They think they can prepare tomorrow. They think the shift can wait until they feel more ready, more clear, more certain. But the gateway doesn't care about your timeline. It operates on cosmic schedule, and the cosmic schedule says December 13th is the closing day, the finalization moment, the sealing point. If you can feel the urgency of what I'm saying, if something in your spirit is screaming that this message is critical, type "I am ready for my destiny" in the comments right now. That declaration is your access code, your signal to the universe that you're not just consuming content, you're actively participating in the most important closing sequence of your year. Now let me tell you what separates those who successfully complete timeline shifts from those who get trapped in half-finished transitions. The successful ones understand that closing sequences require different energy than opening sequences. Opening is about expansion, possibility, dreaming. Closing is about decision, commitment, finalization. You can't dream your way through a closing gateway. You have to choose. You have to commit. You have to cut off all other options and walk through one door with absolute certainty, because the gateway will seal around whatever frequency you're broadcasting when it closes. Doubt broadcasts one frequency. Certainty broadcasts another. Fear broadcasts one timeline. Faith broadcasts another. So here's the exact protocol you need to follow today, right now, to ensure you successfully cross through the destiny gateway before it closes forever. These are not suggestions. These are final requirements. Miss any of these steps and you risk getting locked into the wrong timeline. Complete all of them with full conviction and you guarantee successful transition. Before you can finalize your timeline shift, you need to know exactly what you're shifting from and what you're shifting to. Most people skip this step. They think they know what they want, but they haven't clearly defined it. And the quantum field doesn't respond to vague intentions. It responds to precision. So right now, take out paper or open a document and complete this sentence 20 times. In my highest timeline, I am. Write 20 specific statements about who you are in your desired reality. Not what you have, who you are, your identity, your characteristics, your qualities, your state of being. Because timelines don't shift based on external circumstances. They shift based on internal identity. Examples: in my highest timeline, I am financially sovereign. In my highest timeline, I am purpose-driven and clear. In my highest timeline, I am magnetically attractive to aligned opportunities. In my highest timeline, I am healed from past trauma. Write 20, not 5, not 10. Because the universe reads completeness. The number 20 in numerology represents infinite potential manifested through action. When you complete this exercise fully, you send a signal that you're serious about crossing through the gateway. Then read your 20 statements out loud. Let your voice activate them. Let your ears hear them. Let your consciousness register them as truth. Because what you speak with conviction becomes your frequency, and your frequency determines which timeline you collapse into when the gateway closes. You cannot enter a new timeline while energetically attached to the old one. This is basic quantum law. You can't be in two places simultaneously once the superposition collapses. So today, you need to perform what I call the severance ritual. The conscious cutting of all energetic cords to your current unwanted reality. This is not symbolic. This is actual energetic surgery. And it must be done with precision and power. Here's how. Get a piece of paper and write at the top what I am severing from my timeline. Then list everything you're cutting ties with, every pattern you're done repeating, every relationship dynamic you're finished tolerating, every limitation you're refusing to carry forward, every fear you're no longer feeding, every belief that keeps you small. Write it all. Empty yourself completely onto that page. Hold nothing back. This is your energetic divorce papers from the reality you're leaving behind. Then, and this is critical, you need to physically destroy that paper while speaking your severance declaration. If you can safely burn it, burn it. If not, rip it into the smallest pieces possible and flush it or throw it away immediately. As you destroy it, say these words with absolute authority. I sever all energetic ties to timelines that do not serve my highest good. I cut the cords. I close the doors. I end the cycles. What was is complete. What is coming is mine. The old reality has no claim on me. I am free. I am sovereign. I am crossing through the gateway unattached to what was, fully available for what is. It is done. Feel the release as you speak this. Feel the cords cutting. Feel the weight lifting. This is not metaphor. When you perform this ritual with full intention during a closing gateway, you literally dissolve energetic attachments that have been binding you to unwanted timelines. Words spoken during gateway closings carry exponential power. The quantum field is in its most responsive state during these final hours. So you need to speak your crossing declaration with more conviction than you've ever spoken anything in your life. Find a private space. Stand if possible. Place both hands on your heart and speak these words, or words like them that feel true for you. I am crossing through the destiny gateway now. I am leaving behind every version of reality that kept me stuck, struggling, confused, or limited. I am stepping into the timeline where I am powerful, abundant, clear, and aligned. This is not hope. This is not wishing. This is happening right now. I am making the crossing. I am completing the shift. I am locking into my highest timeline as this gateway closes. Every cell in my body is recalibrating to match this new frequency. Every atom in my field is reorganizing to support this new reality. I am not the same person I was yesterday. I am the version of myself who lives in my desired timeline, and that version is now my permanent identity. The gateway recognizes me. The universe confirms me. My destiny receives me. It is done. It is sealed. It is permanent. Say it until your voice strengthens instead of weakens. Say it until you feel power rising in your chest. Say it until there's no doubt left, only knowing. Your declaration today becomes your reality tomorrow, but only if you speak it like you mean it. The universe doesn't respond to half-hearted statements. It responds to unshakable conviction. The quantum field responds to belief backed by evidence. So you need to anchor your new timeline by collecting evidence that it's already real. This is how you trick your logical mind into accepting the shift, which allows your entire system to recalibrate to the new frequency. Here's what you do. Look at your current life and find evidence. Any evidence, no matter how small, that your desired timeline is already emerging. Maybe you received an unexpected message yesterday. Maybe an opportunity appeared. Maybe you felt different. Maybe someone treated you differently. Maybe you made a brave choice. Maybe you experienced a synchronicity. Find at least 10 pieces of evidence that your timeline shift is already in progress. Write them down. Read them repeatedly. Let your consciousness register them as proof. Because when you focus on evidence of the new timeline, you amplify it. When you acknowledge signs of the shift, you accelerate it. The brain has something called the reticular activating system. It's a filter that determines what information you consciously perceive. When you tell it to look for evidence of your new timeline, it starts spotting signs everywhere. Opportunities you would have missed become obvious. Connections you would have overlooked become clear. Resources you would have dismissed become available. This is not delusion. This is neuroscience applied to timeline navigation. You're literally reprogramming your perception to recognize the reality you're entering instead of staying hyper-focused on the reality you're leaving. Gratitude is the frequency that finalizes timeline shifts. It tells the quantum field that you're not asking for something in the future. You're acknowledging something that's already yours. You're living from the result instead of working toward it. So today, you need to saturate your entire being with gratitude for the timeline you're crossing into. Not fake enthusiasm, not forced positivity, real, genuine, deep appreciation for the reality that's becoming yours as the gateway closes. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Yes, 30 full minutes. And spend that entire time in gratitude. Thank the universe for every aspect of your new timeline, as if it's already completely manifested. Thank it for the financial abundance. Thank it for the purpose clarity. Thank it for the relationship healing. Thank it for the health transformation. Thank it for the opportunities. Thank it for the connections. Thank it for the synchronicities. Thank it for everything. Feel it in your body. Let tears come if they want to. Let joy rise if it's there. Let relief flood through you. This is not pretending. This is pre-experiencing. This is feeling the emotions of your desired reality before the external circumstances have fully materialized. And when you do this during a gateway closing, those emotions become the seal that locks your new timeline into place. Think of gratitude as the energetic signature on your timeline contract. Without it, the shift remains tentative, uncertain, reversible. With it, the shift becomes permanent, confirmed, irreversible. The universe responds to action, not just intention. You can do all the energetic work, but if you don't take physical action that proves your commitment, the timeline shift won't fully stabilize. So today, before this gateway closes, you need to do one thing that your old self would never do. One action that only the version of you living in your highest timeline would take. What is that action? Your intuition already knows. There's something you've been avoiding, something you've been afraid to do, something you've been putting off, something you've been telling yourself you'll do when you're ready. That thing, that's the action required. Maybe it's making a financial investment that scares you but aligns with your abundant timeline. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation that your comfortable self would avoid but your empowered self knows is necessary. Maybe it's starting the project you've been delaying. Maybe it's ending the relationship that's been draining you. Maybe it's applying for the opportunity you think you're not qualified for. Maybe it's sharing your truth publicly for the first time. Whatever it is, do it today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. While the gateway is still open, while the quantum field is still responsive, while your frequency is still elevated from the work you've done, because action during a gateway closing creates exponential momentum. It sends a signal so powerful that the universe has no choice but to reorganize circumstances to match your commitment. It proves you're not just talking about change, you are the change. After you've completed all the previous requirements, you need to perform one final meditation that seals your timeline shift as the gateway closes. This meditation is what ensures you wake up tomorrow in your new reality instead of drifting back to your old one. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed for at least 20 minutes. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and begin with deep breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. Exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. Repeat until your mind quiets. Then visualize yourself standing before a massive gateway. On one side is the timeline you're leaving. You can see it clearly. All the patterns, the struggles, the limitations. You acknowledge it. You thank it for the lessons. And then you turn away from it completely. On the other side of the gateway is your highest timeline. You can see it, feel it, sense it. Everything you've been working toward. Everything you've been dreaming of. Everything you've been becoming. It's right there waiting for you. Now in your visualization, step through the gateway. Feel yourself crossing the threshold. Feel the shift in your body. Feel the energy changing. Feel yourself becoming the version of you that lives in this new timeline. And as you complete the crossing, visualize the gateway closing behind you, sealing shut, locking you into your new reality. There's no going back, no second guessing, no retreat. You're in your highest timeline now. This is your reality. This is your life. This is who you are. Stay in this visualization until it feels complete, until you know, with absolute certainty, that you've crossed through, until your entire system has recalibrated to the new frequency. Then when you open your eyes, notice how different you feel. Something has shifted. Something has changed. You're not the same person who started this meditation. You've crossed through the destiny gateway. That knowing can be more painful than never having gotten close at all. It's like seeing your dream life through a window, but not being able to reach it. And that pain can create a frequency of lack, of missing out, of failure, which actually moves you further from your desired timeline instead of closer to it. So missing this gateway doesn't just delay your breakthrough, it can actually set you back. This is why timing matters. This is why today matters. This is why these final hours before the gateway closes are so critical. I need to warn you about something that always happens when someone is on the verge of a major timeline shift. Resistance appears, not from the universe, but from the people around you. When you start operating at a higher frequency, when you begin crossing into a new timeline, when you activate your destiny, it threatens everyone who's still operating from the old paradigm. Not consciously, not intentionally, but energetically. Your shift reminds them of their own stagnation. Your courage highlights their fear. Your commitment exposes their excuses. And most people can't handle that mirror. So they'll try to pull you back, not because they're bad people, but because your elevation triggers their unhealed wounds. They'll tell you you're being dramatic. They'll say you're taking this spiritual stuff too seriously. They'll mock your urgency about December 13th. They'll question whether any of this is real. They'll suggest you're being manipulated or delusional. Listen carefully, these people mean well, but they're operating from a frequency that doesn't understand timeline mechanics. They're still living in the old paradigm, where change is slow, gradual, and requires years of effort. They don't comprehend quantum shifts. They don't recognize gateway moments. They don't believe in timeline selection. So when they try to talk you out of taking today seriously, smile, thank them for their concern, and do the work anyway. Your timeline shift is not a democracy. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need external validation. You need your own commitment and the courage to act on it. The right people will understand. The aligned people will support you, but don't wait for everyone to get it before you move forward. The gateway closes whether they believe in it or not. Right now, as you read this, the gateway is moving toward its closing point. With every hour that passes, the window narrows. The opportunity diminishes. The ease of crossing becomes more difficult. This is not manipulation. This is not fear tactics. This is basic energetic mechanics. Gateways operate on cosmic schedule, not human convenience. And the cosmic schedule says December 13th is the closing day. So here's what I need you to understand, with absolute clarity. You have hours, not days. The work I've outlined cannot be done partially and still be effective. You can't do it tomorrow and get the same results. You can't skip steps and expect complete transformation. This is your moment. This is your window. This is your gateway. And what you do in the next few hours will determine whether you wake up tomorrow in a new reality or the same old one. Every moment you spend in doubt is a moment wasted. Every minute you spend seeking external validation is a minute lost. Every hour you delay is an hour you'll never recover. The universe has given you this opportunity. Your higher self has guided you to this information. Your destiny has called you to this moment. Now it's your turn to answer. Not with words, with action, with commitment, with the courage to complete the crossing while the gateway is still open. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and feeling fundamentally different. Not because your circumstances have magically changed overnight, but because your entire relationship with reality has transformed. You look at the same situation you've been frustrated with, but instead of feeling stuck, you see the path forward clearly. You think about the goal you've been chasing, but instead of feeling far away from it, you know it's already yours. You consider the version of yourself you've been trying to become, and you realize you already are that person. That's what successful timeline crossing feels like. That's what happens when you complete the shift before the gateway closes. Everything looks the same but feels completely different. And that feeling difference is what creates the physical difference over time. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you had the chance but didn't take it. Imagine feeling the weight of knowing you were this close, but let doubt, distraction, or delay keep you from crossing through. Imagine spending the next months watching the same patterns repeat while remembering there was a moment when you could have shifted everything. Which reality do you want? Which future are you choosing? Which version of yourself will you be tomorrow? The answer to that question is being determined right now by what you do in these final hours before the gateway closes. We've reached the end of this message, which means you've reached a decision point. You can close this video and go back to scrolling, consuming, distracting yourself. Or you can pause everything else, eliminate distractions, and dedicate the next few hours to completing your timeline crossing. One choice keeps you where you are. The other transforms everything. And here's what I know about you. You wouldn't have read this far if you weren't ready. You wouldn't have found this message on December 13th if it wasn't meant for you. You wouldn't feel the pull, the urgency, the knowing if your destiny wasn't calling you through this gateway. So trust that. Trust yourself. Trust the timing. Trust the process. And do the work. Complete the 7 requirements. Perform the rituals. Speak the declarations. Take the action. Seal your timeline shift before the gateway closes. Because on December 14th, when you wake up, you'll either be celebrating your successful crossing or regretting that you didn't act when you had the chance. And I promise you, the effort required to shift is far less painful than the regret of staying stuck. Your highest timeline is on the other side of this gateway. Your destiny is waiting for you to complete the crossing. The universe has cleared the path. Your higher self has prepared the way. All that's left is your decision to walk through. The gateway is closing. The window is narrowing. The opportunity is disappearing with every moment that passes. Don't miss this. Don't waste this. Don't let this moment slip away. Cross through the destiny gateway before it seals forever. Claim your highest timeline while it's still accessible. Become the version of yourself you were always meant to be. The portal is open for a few more hours. Your destiny is waiting on the other side. Go claim it before the gateway closes forever. This is your moment. Make it count.